And you are live.
All right. Awesome. Hey, what's going on, MLSP community? What is up, everybody? Party people. Hey, we've got an amazing training for you guys today. Not really just a training, but just maybe some inspiration, some training, a little bit of everything today. So I have a rock star on with me, Karen Winter. Say hi, Karen.
Hello, everyone. Hi, MLSP family. Good to see you guys. Glad you're here.
So really quick before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you go maybe take a screenshot of this, take a quick screenshot or go ahead and take a picture of this and just let your friends know we are getting ready to rock. If you're in our community already, go ahead and go over in the Facebook group. For those of you guys, I know some of you guys are real fast at doing this, just go let them know that we're about to start and we're waiting for them. Not really, we're not waiting, but hurry up. Tell them to get their butts over here. So how is everybody? I see a lot of people in the chat. Wow, Nico is, hey, Debbie Deerdorf, hey, girl. Ray Tarlick, hi. Hi, Carrie, awesome. Let's see. Awesome. So I see a lot of people. There's Dr. Lisa Thompson, whoop, whoop. Antonio, yay. Awesome. Let's see, Leah Ray, Linda Boomba, I think it is, Bamba, right? Awesome. I see a lot of people on. Ellie, hey girl. I'll promise I'll keep it clean today. If you guys were at the mastermind, you know what I'm talking about. Right? Let's see here. Anna, what's going on? I see a lot of great people on today. So really awesome. Go let them all know we're about to start. And I'm just going to go ahead and roll with the punches here because Karen's been rocking in her business. And what I like to do is I like to bring people on that are just kind of getting started, and really making some quick, changes in their business and really, having some success pretty early on. And especially I like to do that because Karen's, she's not been with MLSP too long, but she's just started really, rank advancing in her business. She just hit L2, on her way to L3. And I love showcasing people like Karen that are just kind of getting things rocking and rolling in their business, because that, my friend, is the best way to learn, like especially if you're just getting started or maybe you haven't had any results yet. The greatest thing to do is to learn from people that are getting results. And some of the things that I know Karen is doing is super simple and anybody can do it and start getting, very similar results or even better results. So I'm really excited she's on with us today. Thank you, Karen, for joining me.
Thank you. I'm so excited and very honored and privileged to be here. Awesome.
So Karen, actually, she's got quite the story. She really does. And I want her to just kind of, Karen, will you please kind of just share like a little bit of your background and where you kind of came from and how you ended up in the MLSP, because I think that's always important to kind of know who the person is,
Absolutely. Well, thank you, April. So I actually started in the network marketing world over 14 years ago. And at the time I was working in corporate America, I was burning out of my job, working 50, sometimes 60 hours a week, around the schedules of 4 kids. And I had a passion and drive to be able to raise my own children and to be home with them. And we were living paycheck to paycheck. I was just burning out, and I also had college tuition that was looming in front of us, in a very quick fashion. So I started in a company and actually worked really hard, working at part-time around my full-time job. And I built my business online at the time. And then within 2.5 years, I was able to walk away from a 20-plus year career. And I've been home ever since. And now I'm just really excited to take my business to the next level.
Awesome. So kind of tell us like a little bit about how you came across MLSP. And like, I know you've been in the profession for some time too. So you're seasoned. And you've had some success even in your previous home-based businesses. So just kind of maybe share how you came into MLSP and what kind of was like, what drew you here? Like what were you looking for and seeking,
Absolutely. So one of my best friends actually was really encouraging me for almost a year to join MLSP. And I had a lot of other things going on with my businesses. And so, I just kept putting it off. And I thought, I had this feeling that, okay, well, I've been doing this for so long, I should be able to figure this online world out and really learn to master social media marketing, which was a whole different game plan than what I had done before. And finally, I said, you know what, you're absolutely right. You're killing it in your businesses, and I'm going to do it. And as soon as I started with MLSP, I got immersed in all the training that we provide. And I started to really see some results, and the training is so phenomenal that there was just nothing I'd ever seen before that provided this type of a business tools platform. And I do look at it almost like a business in a box is the best way I can describe MLSP. So, and since then, just in the last 6 months, really taking it to the next level, I have embraced MLSP and all of its training and tools. And then I also got started in the MLSP coaching program, and that was a huge turning point for me.
Yeah, what would you say was like, I know you said that's the huge turning point, but what do you think was the best thing that you got from because I know you're still doing the coaching program. What's the most the best thing that helped you? What's the thing that helped you probably the most in really turning things around in your business? Because I know, when I started in MLSP, I wasn't hit the ground running and I got all these results. It didn't work that way. It was plugging in, learning from other leaders and stuff like that. And I think my biggest turning point really was showing up. I just started showing up for the training. I was literally pulling my hair out. And I was like, I got to do something. So I'm just going to start showing up. And I started showing up and things started to click finally, right? So what do you think is the best thing that, you've gotten from the coaching program, MLSP, that's kind of really just turned it all around,
Well, and it absolutely is the showing up and being committed to your business. So what I always share with people when they are getting started in MLSP and in their companies is you absolutely have to have a very powerful why. And without a powerful why, you really want your business to succeed, you're not going to show up. You're going to make excuses, and fear sometimes takes over. And before you know it, you're making excuses why, I can miss that particular training, or I was going to spend some time on the training and the under marketing strategies. I was going to do some training today, but you know what? Things came up, and you start, going backwards and making excuses. And I just refuse to make excuses, because excuses is not going to make you money.
Yeah, that is true. That is the biggest thing. I think people make excuses all the time for their lack of action. There's always a reason why not to do something, and I know for me, I could think of a gazillion reasons when I was working full-time as a cocktail waitress why I couldn't do the business, but I made it a point, just like you said, because I really, really wanted it bad enough. And I think when people really want something bad enough, they'll do whatever it takes. It's just I always kind of refer to this, but when people are let's say somebody, you really like a man or a woman or whatever, and you're really going after, trying to date them and, be with them, right? And be able to take them out on a date. Well, you'd make time for that date, right? You'd make time for that date. And it's people don't make time for their financial future, but they'll make time to go on a date. Well, then it's important. The date's more important, So, yeah, I totally can relate to that myself, because I see that a lot with people when they come in, it's not important enough. And so they don't do it, So let me ask you this. So you've been online, because you kind of did online with your previous, when you were,
Yes,
yeah. So what do you think is the difference with what you're doing now? I know you're doing the branding and all of that, but what is the difference between, what you were doing then and what you're doing now?
Well, what I was doing then actually was very costly, because I was, actually purchasing leads that were generated by another company or, you know, multiple companies. And that can be very costly. And so what I learned with MLSP, and I will say that, you know, the first 3 months or so in MLSP, you know, even though I had all this experience in previous businesses, I was also struggling to generate leads. And like you said, you have to really plug in and get, you know, the proper training. But once I embraced the whole philosophy of attraction marketing, and I started learning how to generate my own leads, and these are leads, you know, and there's many different ways of generating leads through MLSP, but learning attraction marketing, you can generate free leads. And these are leads that are they're very interested in what you have to offer. They're coming to you. You're attracting them through the various tools that you're using in MLSP. And then I decided to take on additional training, and with the coaching program with my amazing coaches. I worked with Aaron Birch, and then I also worked with, currently working with Antonio Thompson, and they taught me how to attract people in a way that is creating conversations and not going out there and spamming in groups and posting your product and posting your, your company name and branding yourself. And so, once I really embraced that philosophy and I realized I, have to stop, getting my friends and family ticked off at me because, all they see on my page is business, 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 buy my stuff. That's when things turned around. And I think the key with the coaching program that just in the last 4 months or so, that just completely took my business to a next level because I have accountability, my accountability partner, Antonio, and just, the support you have with Brian and Norb and Jesse and, all of the top leaders, and you, of course, April. It's just been, that is what took it to the next level for me to rank advanced to L2 and MLSP.
Yeah, and also you're rocking in your current primary business too, which I thought was very significant because sometimes people come into MLSP and they're like, well, what about my primary business? Well, here you go. You've got a Rockstar, just hit L2, just hit a new rank in her company, signed up 8 people into her primary business over the last 10 days. So that just goes to show you if you have another business, MLSP can help you grow that business. So why don't you talk a little bit about, how you're doing that, because I know that you've got a strategy that you're kind of, following right now and getting people involved, not just in MLSP, but also into your primary business. And I know you're using Facebook a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have learned to master some very simple strategies using Facebook ads. And Facebook ads, it does not have to cost a whole lot. You can actually get started in Facebook for less than $5 a day per ad. And, when I started with Facebook ads, I was a little concerned because I wasn't sure how, to make them work. And actually there's a fantastic training in the MLSP office, Facebook ads training, under the marketing strategies and training tab. And you'll see that you plug yourself in. If you decide you wanted to take on Facebook ads, for example, after I go through a couple of simple steps I'm doing right now, then by all means start there. And then I also encourage you to take a serious look at the coaching program, because that was, that was huge for me. Oh, April?
I was muted. I try to mute out so that I don't background noise or anything, in case my dog starts barking like crazy. I got a big 100 and something pound boxer that just loud. So why don't we go dive into that a little bit, because I know a lot of people are here and they want to know what's working for you, because they want results too. And what's cool about this, guys, is Karen told me about, and I'm going to go ahead and I got the Q&A turned on. I just turned off the chat just because it was going so fast. I was starting to not listen to Karen and looking at chat. And I know Karen's trying to talk and it's hard. I'm ADD, so I got to shut stuff off. But I know Karen, what she's doing is like 1, 2, 3 stuff. Like, guys, you could totally do this and totally rock it in your own business, just following what Karen has been doing. And yeah, there is, Facebook ads has a cost, but you know what? That's the cost of doing business. It really is. It's tools. It's not like you're having to pay a store, you know, if you had like a store, you'd have to pay rent, you know, $5,000 a month in most cases. So spending $5 a day, not too shabby, especially, you know, if you really want to get like 10 or more leads a day. So go ahead and share your screen with us, and we'll take a look at what you got going on. This is Karen's first time having her out onto a Top Earner Hangout. So I'm guiding her through the whole process of everything because she's just, you know, new to the whole Hangout thing. But check that out. Oh, I love that. Your stats are right there. So
Yeah,
this shows you it works.
Right, absolutely. So, you know, it works. I mean, this is very consistent. I see this every day, you know, like around 10 or so leads, sometimes more. But it is because of the what I've been doing with the Facebook ads. So I actually use a very simple strategy. There's a particular ad I use. It's called the engagement post. And so when I look at how to set up an engagement ad, honestly, it literally will take about 10 minutes one time to set up an engagement ad. And when I'm actually looking at my ad, so I first have to go to my Facebook, where did it go? Here we go, my Facebook page. Here we go. So here is my Facebook fan page. So the first thing that you want to make sure is to set up a Facebook fan page. And the fan page is your business, you know, really your name, your brand is you. You're the personal brand. And so you set up a Facebook fan page through your regular Facebook page, and it's very, very easy to set up. It's just like a step-by-step process. Once you set it up, that's where you can generate your Facebook ads from. So I already, you know, have one of my engagement ads going, and I'm just going to scroll down to that engagement ad. I'm just going to see where that would, let's see, I'm looking for, I'll just keep scrolling down. I have so many posts and things that I have on my page. It's not, here we go. I'll get to it. Takes a minute. My engagement ad, I've had it going since, I believe, February. So it's been on there for quite a while. So this is my engagement ad here. And so, you know, what I'm doing is just sharing a little bit about myself. And, you know, like in my case, I put a little story together. So I'm just saying, you know, hey, I'm Karen. I've been in the network marketing profession since 2002. I've coached thousands of network marketers how to master lead generation and recruiting. So this particular engagement ad, you know, I had like a question and, you know, actually asking them to, on a scale of 1 to 5, to provide an answer and comment below. So that was just one particular engagement ad that I did. And now I also have a more advanced engagement ad that is getting a ton of results, and that's this one right here. This particular ad, again, is very simple, and you can set up an ad, you know, really for a very, you know, small amount. Obviously, I set it up for no more than $5 a day. But as you can see, my ad is a picture of myself, and then like 4 sentences, basically, you know, or no, 2 sentences, 2 long sentences. And I'm just telling them, hey, this is my background. Now, I know tons of you out there probably that don't have this type of background, but that's okay, because what you want to do is really set it up so that people will be related to you and want to learn from you. So you put a little story together. Everybody has a story, you know, why they got started in the network marketing or affiliate marketing profession and why they love what they do. And so, you know, I just encourage people, don't look at me and say, oh, well, she's been doing this for so long, that's why she's successful doing these ads. That is totally not the case. I've seen people do very simple engagement ads and get great results. Now, here's an example. Now, I started this ad actually in February. Look, I've got 11,321 people I've reached with this ad. And the ad is simply saying, if I could show you how to generate 2 to 5 leads per day using Facebook, would you be open to learning more? Comment yes below. And when I look at this ad, there's 2 things that I can do with this ad. First of all, I have all these people. I have over 473 people here who have liked this ad. They may not have commented, but they've liked it. So one of the things you want to make sure you're doing is adding more people to your Facebook fan page, adding more followers. This is a method I use to add more followers. So all these individuals here have liked, just like the ad, not necessarily commented. And this is where I see the people that have recently liked my ad. I'm going to invite them to continue following me on my Facebook fan page. So as I provide additional resources and trainings, you know, and I post a lot of things on my page, you know, a lot of different videos, a lot of content, valuable content. I direct them back to MLSP. That's how I'm adding more people to be followers on my page. So now, as when I first got started in the coaching program, I think I had maybe 150 followers, and most of them were my friends. And you know, that's great that your friends are following you, but unless they're looking for a business opportunity, they're not really people looking for help with their business. Now I have almost 1,800 likes, a little over 1,800 likes, and it all came from my coaching, you know, through the coaching program and setting up just this really super simple ad. So let's just look at the comments here. And when I look at the comments, I have all these comments that just keep pouring in, and all I'm doing is starting to engage. The key with conversing with complete strangers, now even though these folks came to me, they are complete strangers, is to create a conversation where you're not sounding like you're you know, you're trying to sell them something, you're trying to sell them your stuff. You want to provide the type of, you want to set up a conversation so that you're looking for what is it that they're struggling with, what are their pains, what are their struggles, what are the things that they may need help with. So here, for example, you know, when I open up the conversations, I click on, oh, now I just clicked myself out. Hold on, let me get back into that. Let's see. No, it will take me a bit. Yeah, every time I click out of here, then I get back. I have to go all the way back to the bottom. I know there's an easier way to do it, but I want to make sure I get, there we go. This is the one I want. Okay, so I'm going to go to a previous message so you can see all the responses. Here we go. So here we go. I have all of these people I have been communicating with. Now they have asked for help, and so here is, you know, like maybe a basic, you know, a basic message, like people have been responding to my post. So the first thing I do is I reach out, and here's a person that I reached out to. She said yes, you know, and I said, I saw that you responded to my Facebook post. Great. Just curious, what inspired you to reach out to me? So right away, I'm not saying, you know, so I see that you responded because you're struggling to generate leads for your business. You're trying to get 2 to 5 leads per day. Like, you know, I had posted, what can I do to help you to achieve that? No, I am creating a conversation because I want to make a friend first through my conversation before I can get them on, you know, on a call with me. Once I get them on a call with me, then I can share the incredible tools that My Lead System Pro can provide. Let me know, April, if I'm going too fast or if I need to stop at any point.
Oh, you're doing great. Keep going.
Okay. Okay, so here's an example. So right away, I just posted this very, you know, nice little, hey, you know, what prompted you to respond? And she's like, thank you for the response. I'm a new independent, unique presenter, just over a month in, and she's got a huge passion for what she's doing. She has tons of retail experience, but Instagram is fairly new to me. So she's actually reaching out to me to see what I can do to help her to use Instagram to generate free leads through that, you know, through that system. And our very own April Marie Tucker is the Instagram queen in MLSP. And if you haven't yet jumped on board some of the trainings that April Marie has set up in the MLSP office, make sure that you tap into it. That's actually where I learned everything I need to learn about Instagram was through April Marie. So here's some additional, conversation I've had with her. Great, so here's an example. I responded to her again, not saying, well, so I know you're struggling to get 2 to 5 leads. I'm saying to her, great, it's great to meet you here. And Unique is a great company. So how are you doing? Just a very generic, how are you doing? Great to meet you too, Karen. Now, do you see how I'm starting to build that relationship? And, she's like, I'm honoring her by saying her company is great, and it is a great company. They do have fantastic products. And I know that, she, and I saw her Facebook posts, what she's doing is what 95% of most network marketers do, is they go on their personal Facebook page and they're posting their product. They're posting about, the newest sale on their product. They're doing demonstrations on their product, which is a good thing, but not if you've got the name of the product and the name of the company plastered all over that Facebook post. So that's what she's doing, is she's posting all over it. She was not getting any results. Her friends, feel like she's spamming them. She already said that to me when I did get her on the phone. So, here I built that relationship, and she's already, sharing with me more about herself. And then that's when I just started to, go into more detail. So I do share that I have been a professional marketer for over 14 years, and I love this business. So I'm gently saying, so are you looking for ways to increase your lead flow and get more sales? Well, obviously she's going to say yes, right? But I'm still asking her for permission to see if she wants to learn more about getting leads and sales. I don't want to push MLSP on her quite yet. I want to find out if she's really serious. And then look at this. I've already made a great friend. She's already giving me a smiley with hearts. I'm thinking, okay, great. So I'm warming it up, warming up the conversation. You must love it. And then she's sharing, I've been a department manager for 13 years, and I'm really good with the merchandising and service, but the marketing side is still something she wants to learn, and how to get leads for a larger customer base. So that's when I then will present. So what I can do is set up a free, 15-minute coaching session with you to review more about what you're doing, and then share ideas that have worked for me. Do you have a few minutes to chat? So that is, the transition I go into, and here we go. Yes, I do. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And once she's given me permission, perfect. Then, couple of things. So what's your best phone number and email address? And I'll also send you a friend request. So in order to generate a lead with the engagement post, you want to make sure that at the very end, before you even set up the phone call, obviously you need their phone number, but you want to capture their email address right away in this conversation, because that way you'll be able to get them on your email list. Even if, for example, you set up a phone consult appointment and the person isn't there when you scheduled the call, you already have their email, and so you can add them to your email list to start sharing more valuable content. So I get them as a friend, I get their email, and I get their phone number, and then I set up a phone conversation. That's when I dive more into talking about them and what their needs are. Does that, anything else, April, that you want me to cover on that? Or did you want me to talk about how I close people into MLSP?
Yeah, I mean, just the whole process that you kind of take people through, and even maybe getting them into your MLM too from that point. Or not MLM, but your home business.
Absolutely. So the key is that, this is one of the things people have said to me, that they're like, well, this is great. MLSP is wonderful, but I really want to build my primary business, my network marketing company or my affiliate company or whatever. And they don't quite get the connection why you can use MLSP branding yourself to be able to build your home business. So here's what happens as I'm getting on the phone with these individuals. So what I do is I interview them a little bit, and I'm talking to them about what is it that that they're looking for. So first of all, I use a system that I call Form. And when I first get someone on the phone, obviously I'm going to say, well, I'm so glad that, we had an opportunity to chat today for a few minutes. It's so nice to meet you. So tell me a little bit about yourself. So I have like an open-ended question so I can start getting them to talk. The key to prospecting and closing and getting people in, whether it's MLSP or your primary, is the more that that prospect talks and asks questions, the more that they're going to actually convince themselves to get started in the company or in your primary, depending on which way you're taking them. So I really try to pull out from them, ask a few questions. So tell me a little bit about what you do, Louise, or whoever, and then try to get them to say that obviously they're going to share they've been with this company for X amount of time and X amount of days or weeks or months or whatever, and then I'll ask them, so tell me, how is that going for you? And then they start talking about it and that type of thing, and then I actually talk a little bit about their personal situation. So, I'll actually ask them, so, tell me, Louise, where do you live? Where are you building your business? And so I'll find out her, location, and then I'll talk about my location and what I'm doing in my, my city. And, it's cold here in Wisconsin, although we haven't had any snow in like a couple months and whatever. I'll have small talk. And then I'll say, so tell me a little bit about this, your business. Are you looking to build, do you work your business with any family members, perhaps, husband and kids or anything? So that's sort of a way that I actually get them to start talking about their family. What is the number one reason people want to start a business and be successful in, a network marketing business? It's because they want to provide for their family. They want to be home with their kids. They need flexibility. They want time, freedom, flexibility, and obviously financial security. But everyone is motivated at the end of the day. They're all motivated by family. So when you get them talking about their family, they're going to be more likely to just be reminding themselves of how important it is that this business is so critical. They really want to, they want to quit their job. They want flexibility. So I find out about their family. That's the F in Form. Then I find out about their occupation. So I ask them, so tell me, Louise, I know you're building your business here, and you have been doing it for a while now, and you're not quite getting the results you want. But tell me, are you currently working a full-time job out of your, in addition to your business? And then they start talking about their job. So here's the thing. Again, people, the more they talk, and I would say 90% of the people I talk to, maybe even more, they hate their job. They hate the commute. They are living paycheck to paycheck. They just can't seem to make ends meet. And they're not happy working for the people they're working for or working for the boss they're working for. They just are, struggling. And so they have a passion for wanting to make this business work. So again, I had them talk about their occupation and their job, which gets them. And this actually happens in a lot shorter time frame than I'm explaining it now. I typically only spend 15 minutes on this part, but this gets them to that point where, yes, I really need help. I really need help. I really want this. I really want to build this. And then the other question I'll ask is, so tell me, once you get this business off and running and where you want it, what would you do? What types of, fun activities would you like to do? Would you like to travel more? I try to get to find out what is their motivation from a recreation standpoint. When you talk about spending time with your family, are you talking about, I want to just be home with them and, obviously I want to do that, but what do you want to do and have when you have the time and the freedom and the money? A lot of people say they want to travel, or maybe they want to, buy a motorhome and travel around the city or the country rather. So whatever it is, I try to get them to talk about what are they passionate about. And so it's really family, F, occupation, O, R, their their recreation, what do they love to do outside of their business and their job and their family. And then M is the message. So the message then is, great. So what I'm hearing from you right now, Louise, is you've been struggling, getting things off the ground in your business. And it sounds like what you are looking for is a way to obviously get this, to a point where you can eventually quit your full-time job so that you can spend more time with your children. And I know your daughter is in all these dance competitions and your son is in soccer and you're trying to get to all these places, but you need that flexibility, right? And so they're agreeing with me. And then I go into, and so you have this desire to quit your job. You can do a business like this on a part-time basis and totally quit your job 100% if you learn how to build it right. So if I could show you a way of building your business on the fast track versus doing things in the way that you're doing it now that isn't getting you results, would you be willing to learn more about it? Now, somewhere in there, I'm also finding out, are they really happy with the results they're getting in their business and their company? Are they really passionate about wanting to build the business they're in now? So as I'm talking to them about their business, so this is where it sometimes will transition into, I can share my primary. So let's say that Louise here, she loves the products of the company she's in, but her support, her upline support are inactive. She's kind of out on an island by herself. She's not getting any support or any help. And she's, she really doesn't have any way of building her business other than finding another coach. So then I will say, very, very delicately, I don't want to, my purpose is not to take them away from their primary, but I'll say something like, so tell me, Louise, if you had another way of generating some additional income on the side that would not necessarily, interfere with your love of the products and the company that you're in, would you be willing and open to learning about another opportunity? And then actually, this is how I've been able to bring at least the last 6 people I brought in to my primary came from these Facebook engagement ads where I did talk about, okay, this is a person who came because they're struggling in their company, and they still love their company and their products, but they're not getting support and they're just like, you know what, I got to do something else. This isn't working. And I will make sure that they don't have support. They don't have anybody that's really a super coach above them in their company. So I'm not stepping on toes, because I feel very strongly that when you are branding yourself in the online marketing world, you need to build your business with integrity. And my passion is building a business, but also making sure that I'm building it with integrity, and I am not trying to encourage other people to come to my primary if they're already in an existing primary that they're really excited about and they're passionate about and they feel that they can be successful in. So then when I get to that point and I get them on a call, if they're looking at getting help with additional marketing for their primary company, I actually will get them into My Lead System Pro. I'll do a Zoom session with them, and I'm going over, here are the tools and trainings that you have. So first of all, I'll share with them, here is an example of the training. So when I was sharing with them, I know you're struggling to learn how to generate leads and sales. I'm doing a Zoom session with every single person that I possibly can who says they want to learn about MLSP. When you show them the MLSP back office and you do it in a Zoom session or in a webinar session, you will definitely be able to close people into MLSP. So I share, I'm like, okay, I want you to take a look at this. First of all, we talked about the training, the phenomenal training available to you. Here are just a small sampling of all the trainings that we have here when we talk about core marketing strategies. So, you know, Louise, you told me that you wanted to learn how to generate leads from Facebook. Here's a whole, you know, there's like how many of these? 5 of these right here, 6 of these just on Facebook alone. Here's more training on Instagram, on Twitter, on Pinterest, whatever, you know, YouTube, whatever you want to learn, whatever social media platform, you have it right here. What's really cool about My Lead System Pro is all you've got to do is plug into the system, plug into the trainings, and pick one social media strategy to master. And so one of the things I make sure when I'm working with people is that they're not in this looking at all of these different you know, trainings and tools, and they're getting overwhelmed. I make sure they understand whatever, you know, they said in their conversation with me. I want you to tell me, what social media strategy do you want to learn? And then we're going to focus only on that one thing, because when I start showing them this, they might look at that and go, oh my God, this is so much. I don't have time, right? So I do say that in my conversation with them when I'm showing this. And then I also show them some of the system campaigns. So I share about the philosophy behind attraction marketing and branding yourself and getting prospects coming to you. So I show them all of these system campaigns, and then I show them an example. So let me show you how you generate a lead. I talk about the 2 most important critical factors to success in your business. Number 1 is your email list. If you have an email platform where you can email your prospective clients on a regular basis, that is something that you will always have, and no one can ever take that away from you. And second is your own personal blog. Did you know in My Lead System Pro, you can build a blog through WordPress, and it's all hosted by My Lead System Pro. So then I'll share with them, let me give you an example of how I attract leads and I get them coming to my email. So I will take, let's say I'll take, you know, the Twitter training, for example, and I will, you know, copy the link, and then I will show them, I'll say, let me just show you kind of what you have in front of you with the Twitter training that I just clicked on. This is a system campaign. And so I'll show them you know, like an exact example of how they're generating leads through MLSP. So I'll say, so you're going to be generating leads and finding other network marketers or affiliates that want some help in learning how to generate leads online. This is how you can actually make some extra residual income. And then I'll show them, here's a link that's in your MLSP office. And in order for that person to get that training, they have to download their name and email. So they download their name and email, and that's how they get on your email list. So I'm actually showing them through my, you know, Lead System Pro how, you know, how this all works. And so, you know, I'm sharing with them, this is a link on this particular training. That's how you start to capture their emails. I also let them know about this phenomenal customer management relationship, the relationship system, the CRM. So I show them, I'm like, look at all these people that I have in my customer relationship manager. Can you imagine, you know, like for me, for example, I've generated over 200 leads just in the last 30 days alone. I can't even keep up with them. It's a great problem to have. But how am I communicating with them on a regular basis? Well, I've got all of these leads that have come to me at different times, and here's an example of, so this is an older lead, but this is a person who came into my site, and I said, look what I have here. I have sent her a couple of emails, and now I can send her another email. So I click on her name, and I actually do this in front of them, and I'm like, so let's send her the email. You know, I've been trying to reach you, and this is an email in the My Lead System Pro system. I'll push the email out, so I'll show her how, or him, whoever I got on the phone, how I was able to send a private email to this particular lead And now this email is actually, you know, it's noted here. I sent this email, and then I will give her an example of how I just did, you know, sent, you know, still looking email. And so I'm showing her how she or he can actually get regular, get emails going out and be able to build relationships with the people in her prospect list. So I do this really quickly. And then I go back into my Lead System Pro system, and then I let them know. And by the way, the beautiful thing about MLSP is that you can also make some extra residual income from it because it's an affiliate program. So as you're building your brand and you're bringing people into My Lead System Pro, and you're also bringing people into your primary, the people that come into My Lead System Pro when they are when they sign in as a mastery member, you will make a $100 commission on every mastery member that is becomes a member, and you will continue to make that $100 a month commission as long as they remain a mastery member. So I've made, you know, a few $1,000s in My Lead System Pro in addition to my my regular primary. And that's because, you know, it's easy to share My Lead System Pro when you're actually sharing it live like this. So does that help?
Oh yeah, definitely. That was really, really amazing. Karen, you rocked it. Seriously. Rocked it. We do have some questions if you want to take a few. And just, I don't know if you can see them, but I'll just read them off. Looks like Nick wants to know, do you run this engagement ad from your fan page? Which I think you kind of answered that.
Yes, absolutely. That's the only place that you can run Facebook ads is directly from a Facebook fan page.
Mm-hmm. Okay, have you changed the audience since you've been running that ad on February 1st? Ellie wants to know.
Yes, absolutely. That's the key also, is that you do want to monitor that ad on a regular basis. I mean, I monitor my ads every day, and I look at the results I'm getting, and in the, you know, analysis, there are ways for you to look at exactly how much it cost per lead or per comment engagement. And as long as I'm getting a good cost per lead, and I would say, you know, anywhere from $150 to $250 max per lead is definitely worth it, because I've been able to prove through my numbers that not only am I breaking even with my Facebook advertising, but I also am profiting because my businesses are growing. So, you know, you have to watch your numbers, and I have changed my audience, you know, regularly.
Also, too, I think you showed this, but how can you message them since they're not your friends? Nikos is wondering.
That's an excellent question. So what happens when you have an engagement ad is the ad itself, and I'm going to go back into the ad. It'll take me just a second. But the ad itself it's connected to your engagement post. So when you are in your engagement post, you're responding to the person through that engagement post. So I'm make sure that's not the one I want. I know there's an easier way to do this, but that's okay.
You want to share your screen?
There we go. Okay, so back to sharing. Voila. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so here's an example. This is the engagement post I have, right? And I'm going in and I'm viewing comments. Now, the people that comment are already connected to this engagement post. So let me show you an example of this person. First, I like their comment, yes, and then I'll just say, I'll try to actually, oh good, I can tag her, and then I'll let her know I'm sending you a PM. Please check your inbox. And so then in my message, this is what happens. This is why it doesn't matter if you're a friend with them or not, because this is connected to your Facebook engagement post. And I was able to successfully tag her. Now, not in all cases are able to do that, but I'll just, then I can reach out to her, just say, thank you for reaching, I just saw, I think I just say, I saw you commented on, my Facebook post. So tell me, just curious, what motivated you to reach out to me? Something along those lines, or maybe I'll just say inspired. Inspired. I like the word inspired better than motivated. So now what happens is this is all connected. And the message is going to get to her, and it's going to get to her because she responded to this post. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You might want to stay there because
Okay.
somebody wants to know. Gayon asked, initially Karen showed us her subscriber list of daily leads. Is she using a funnel to capture leads? So how are you actually sending them a link, or are you, how are you getting them into the funnel? Or are you just putting them on your list?
I'm just putting them on the list, and what I excel at is really just having a conversation through the Facebook chat here, like I'm doing with all of these leads. They're coming to me, they're asking for my help, and as long as I get their email, I can put them in my list, and then I can also continue to drip on them. But I don't need to, in this particular case, need to do a funnel because the leads are pouring in at 10 or so a day. I don't really need to. There are other instances where setting up a lead funnel would, make sense. But in this particular engagement post, I haven't had to yet.
So are you having 10 conversations with people and then getting them to opt in, or are you just putting them on the list is what they're wondering, is there a campaign you're sending people through, or?
Well, I get my 10 leads that come in, and then my goal is to try to get on the phone. So typically out of 10 people, I might be able to successfully get on the phone with at least 3 of them. And at least 3 of them, one person typically will sign up, or is, or they're saving, or whatever they're doing, whatever their case is for getting signed up. But when it comes to emailing them, because not everybody is actually responding back to me. Obviously, these are just people that I'm trying to create conversations with. And in some cases, and a lot of cases, they don't necessarily respond to my, my initial comments. So here's an example. This individual, I actually sent him a couple of notices. He hasn't yet responded. And that's okay. I'm just going to keep reaching out, and then I might actually reach out and say to them if they haven't responded yet. So it sounds, are you still interested in learning how to generate more leads and sales for your business? If so, reach out to me, and let's set up a time to, let's just talk a little bit, and I can try to help you if I can. And then if they don't respond to me, I can give them one last message and say, I'm, right now, I saw that you had responded to my Facebook post, and on such and such a day, I haven't heard back from you. Just letting you know this will be the last time that I'll be reaching out to you, but I do want to make sure I give you one more opportunity if you are still looking for help in generating leads and sales. So, it's kind of like, to me, the easier the process, the better. I don't want to spend a ton of time, like through my email campaigns. I mean, I can easily send emails to prospects, but my whole thing is the way I'm generating business so quickly is that I'm just getting them on the phone. Talking to people on the phone is what closes your sales. So I don't put a lot of attention on having to get them into a funnel and all of that, because I actually am getting such great success here, and it's easy for me that I don't need to.
Okay, gotcha. So that was a good question. Okay, so next question is, how do you get people to your fan page outside of using an ad?
Well, that actually is, when it comes to generating leads through your fan page, you do want to have some way of having either a Facebook engagement ad like this one, or you can also do a specific Facebook likes campaign. So, the thing is that you can add people to your Facebook fan page through, from your friends list. Maybe there's people in your friends list that might be looking for a way to generate leads and sales that already are in a business. But when I first started with my fan page, I did a lot with a Facebook likes campaign. So that's another, way of generating leads to get people coming to your fan page. You also can invite people to your fan page if you're doing conversations through Facebook, and let's say that you are communicating to people through Facebook groups and you're starting to create conversations, then you can invite them to your fan page because they become your friend. So definitely you can invite people to be on your fan page if they are already your Facebook friend. So there's just a few ways of doing it for free, but I chose to really, pour some energy into getting true Facebook fan page likes of people looking for business opportunities, because then those are high quality prospects. Does that help?
Yeah, it definitely helps. There's another question here that I thought was pretty good, because I'm pretty sure you can't message people that like your page. Somebody wants to know, or not like your page, but like your post. They want to know if they only like the ad, like the person only likes the ad, can they message them? And I don't think they can, right?
No, no, they can't. The key is to try to create a conversation with them so you can get them to become your friend. And, just understand it's a numbers game. And that's the greatest, challenge I think people have when they're building their business, is they get discouraged because they're like, oh my gosh, I've been working so hard and I have these 10 leads and I've only been able to get a hold of one person who's communicating with me. And at the end of the day, one person out of 10 is actually really good, especially for, people that are just starting out. But you're not going to get everybody to want to be engaging with you or be a friend or be, someone that gets on your fan page. You just got to understand it's completely a numbers game, and you just have to keep plugging away one day at a time, and 1 month at a time, and just never, ever, ever give up. If you give up, that's the biggest mistake you can make. If you want to be successful in this industry, get your butt going, get it in gear, and never, ever, ever quit. Quitting is not an option.
Yeah, exactly. And people really need to give it a full 90 days too. I always tell people, like, I think what happens is people, instant gratification. We all want it, right? But for me, like, I know, like, my results did not come until 90 days later. Like, you're going to get paid for the work you do today 90 days from now. So just always keep that in the back of your mind, because even when you're prospecting or you're talking to people about your business, or you're working on your branding, or you're working on marketing and generating leads, the results always don't come. The income always doesn't come for 90 days. So just keep that in mind. And I always tell people you have to be consistent for 90 days, because the moment you stop, you actually start over.
Momentum goes one of two ways, either forward or backward. It does not stay the same.
No, it does not. So this has been great, really great. We actually have more questions too. We think people are thinking of more things. Let's see here. Is there an update on the means of payment and signing up? Because the last time I tried signing up, I was bounced back as a result of the available means of payment that was limited to me. Okay, so that's probably a question for MLSP support, Victor. I would email them. It's support@mlsp.com. So you can just email them and ask them if there's an issue with that. When they get on the phone, when do you suggest a Zoom call? That's a really good question. And Linda Bamba wants to know.
I would say immediately. Like, I would, actually in my conversations through my ad, through Facebook, I'll say, thank you for your email and your contact number. If perchance you happen to be at a computer when you when we talk, that would be great, because then that way I can show you how I'm generating leads. Now, so that I sort of preface that, if at all possible. If not, no big deal. If they're not at a computer, that's not a problem. But I will try to do it immediately on that phone call. Once they get off the phone, that's when you lose the prospect, because they, then have other things come up, and, they get kind of off topic. And I try to actually close them on the phone right then and there. That's why the Zoom session works so well.
Okay, yeah, Zoom works really good. Just getting on the phone. I mean, being able to, for people to even hear your voice is a huge thing, and I think a lot of times people want to do like the push button method, and unfortunately, like in any business, there's always that relationship factor, and you have to be creating those relationships. And by getting on the phone, people can tell how much you care, and really that's what matters, right, Karen? I mean, they don't care about how much you know, they care about how much you care, right?
Absolutely. Jim Rohn.
Yep, exactly. So don't forget to do that. Make sure you're doing that. And I love that Karen is like being like, let's jump on a Zoom and showing them, and rather than telling them, because seeing is obviously believing. And that's probably one of the big factors, the reason why people are signing up with her, because they're like, I want to work and be coached. I want to work with a human, not somebody who's just, sending me messages,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all about building the relationship, and knowing that they are going to get support, they are going to get coaching. And it also has allowed me to develop my own coaching program, so that if they want more one-on-one coaching, then I can also give them additional support in that coaching for my coaching services. So it is, all of these things, all these skills, you guys, I did not really get it in my first 90 days. I know, even though I got started with one of my dearest friends, I love her to pieces, but she finally said, you know what, Karen, I would recommend you get into the MLSP coaching program, because honestly, I think you're the type of person that could use some additional support, that one-on-one accountability. The entire system with the coaching program is phenomenal. And I know one of the other greatest aha moments and completely transformed my business was when I went on a mastermind retreat with Brian and Jim Finale and Norb Orlowitz and a number of the other top leaders. And I had the blessing of meeting April Marie in person, and then getting to know others in the coaching program. And that weekend alone was worth the commitment that I made to the MLSP coaching program. So if you haven't yet looked at that as an option for you to really take your business to the next level, I would totally take a serious look at the coaching program.
The coaching program, I think, is awesome too. Like even just getting to events, like live the dream too, I think that's another huge thing, is being able to build those relationships in person, and really making those connections with people. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more questions. And this one is from Annette, and she wants to know, what kind of emails do you send your email list without sounding like you are selling? Could you give an example?
Absolutely. So my emails, one of the cool things about My Lead System Pro is you do have already existing emails. There's 10 of them in the system that you connect with MLSP and your, like I'm using Aweber, for example. But I also can develop my own. So there's, what I call, Aweber calls it the Legacy Series. And these are all emails that already were developed by My Lead System Pro that are connected to my account. And then I also have a personalized email that I'm just letting them know a little bit about myself and what I can provide to them, and what my background, sort of my little story. But there also is an opportunity to create your own emails. So when I look at different things, the thing about emailing your list is you want to always provide, some kind of value, but you don't want to be selling them every single time. So here's like an example. I did an email, sort of a touchy-feely email, just have you ever wanted to give up? And here's another one. Are you still looking for a way to create leveraged income from home? And then I also share some of this special trainings that I have. And then I am sharing with them, this training, like I'm definitely promoting all of the Wednesday webinars, the evening webinars, because you get those emails every week. Why not promote those webinars to your list? And then when they are cookied to you, then they become your lead, because you're promoting it, or they could actually be convinced through that system, that call on Wednesday night, that lead that you have could be, encouraged by another leader in MLSP. Yes, I really love what they just trained on Wednesday night. I'm going to definitely, get a hold of Karen and talk about how to sign up. And I just do, like, how are you doing? And I just come up with different topics. I do motivational things, motivational quotes, and, things that could get them excited about their business again. And then in between, I am promoting, how do you get 15 leads daily? So here I promoted the Twitter training, the system campaign Twitter training. So it's balancing in the email list and what you're sharing with them. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely. You just want to share value, guys. That's the main thing. And if you stick around with MLSP, and we're going to give you all the training and tools to be able to do that. One of the things that I think is very, very, very easy for everybody on this webinar to do is just promote the Wednesday webinar, the Tuesday webinar. I mean, even people promote the Monday night quick start training, right? So you're more than welcome to promote those and leverage those, really. I mean, that was my bread and butter when I started, was just leveraging the webinars that MLSP was doing. In fact, I don't even think I did my first webinar until 2 years later when I joined, seriously. So some people are like doing webinars right away. Well, it took me like 2 years. So, just leverage those right when you're getting started. That's the easiest thing to do, is just leverage those webinars. And also too, the MLSP blog. There's blog posts you can send out. So let's see here. How much money a day do you spend? Michelle wants to know.
Oh, I don't spend more than $5 a day per ad. So I watch my budget, and as long as I can, if I'm spending, say, $25 a week, and from that, if I sign up one My Lead System Pro member, well, I've already profited $75. So I can prove over and over and over again by watching my numbers with my ads that I am not only breaking even, but I'm profiting. And as you get into profit mode, and as people continue to stay as members with MLSP, you're going to create even, greater profits. And of course, if you bring them into your primary, well, that's when you can also create even greater profits.
That's easy. That's easy enough. If you're not, seriously, like, a couple bucks a day, guys. I've actually had ads do, like, when you do boosted posts, I don't know if you do it based on your amount that you pay over time, but usually I just do, like, I'll do like a one for like 30 days. And some of those I'll just do like, $100 for 30 days, right? So I'll say no more than $100, and then I'm spending like a couple bucks a day on a boosted post. And that can work too. So, I mean, if you wanted to spend a little less, you can try playing around with even that. Have you tried that, Karen, at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was testing a couple of new ads, different ads I wasn't sure about, I would maybe set it up for like $2 a day, maybe $3, and then just kind of monitor it before I turned it on. And then if I see an ad that's actually generating leads at like $1.50, or maybe $1.50 to $2, I can, add more money to that at $10 a day and get more leads to work with. And as long as I'm following up properly with the leads and my numbers continue to prove that I'm breaking even with my advertising and then creating profit, going into profit mode, then it definitely justifies spending the money. At the end of the day, if you really want to make it in in the business, in the network marketing or affiliate marketing world, or whatever company you represent, that you do need to spend some money to make money. That's just the bottom line. No business is free. And but you have to watch your numbers. You have to really be mindful of that. And I think that's the key, is that I watch my ads every day.
Yeah, definitely. You got to monitor them. Otherwise, I've spent a lot of money on ads, and it's like, if you're not monitoring it, it can be like, oh my gosh, for nothing, So let's see here. Is there tips for engagement ad if my primary is MLSP? I mean, you just do this exact same thing that she's doing, right?
Right.
For MLSP, you just don't lead them into your primary. That's all. Like a home business, you just lead them into MLSP, and that's it.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. So are those 12 leads your Facebook back office is showing? Is that really more a like, and then you would then need to follow up with to turn them into an actual lead?
Yes, because you first have to create the conversation. So like I was showing you earlier, you go into the comments and you start to try to engage with them. And then you have a Facebook conversation through the message center connected to your ad. And then once you get that trust and credibility, then your goal is to get them on the phone, ask for their best phone number, their email address, and set up a time to talk to them. Ideally, if it's at all possible, I do try to talk to them right then and there, because when you schedule an appointment, sometimes they're not always there, or you've got to reschedule it or whatever. So when it comes to generating leads, the key is the faster you can get on those leads and start communicating with them, the greater likelihood you're going to get them to the next stage of getting them on the phone.
Awesome. So there's two questions. Basically, people want to know, what is Zoom, or how do you use it? And you want to just go ahead and tell them about Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom is a free system. It's you just go to Zoom. What is it? Zoom.com.
Yeah, just Google it. Probably it's free.
Yeah, Zoom. I think it's US or whatever, and Google it, and you can actually get a free account. And each Zoom session, I think the free account gives you 40 minutes of a Zoom time, and I never need more than that. So typically, I can get these conversations completed in, say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And then once I get them off the Zoom, I can, take that back to a phone call once I've presented the information in a visual format. Remember that people have, there's 3 different ways people learn, and one is, visual, one is auditory, and one is tactical. And so when I can show them visual and then they're seeing it for themselves, that is actually very common. It's in some cases, I know for me personally, if I only talk to somebody on the phone, I have ADD myself. I'd be like, wait, what did you just say? But now I can go back in a picture format in Zoom and say, okay, oh, that's what she means. So that's why I find a Zoom to be so effective in showing them exactly what they would get. And I do the same thing for my primary. I'll go into my primary account and I'll show them about, what I have.
Yeah. So I've got a question. They want to know, is the engagement ad created with Facebook Live, which I think it's just a picture, right? And they want to know, or is it offline video uploaded?
No, it's a Facebook. It's just a picture. So yes. When you go into Facebook ads and there's you set it up, it literally takes 10 minutes. You first post the post on your Facebook page. So you have to have the ad posted on your page first. And then as you go through the engagement ad setup, you're going to connect that Facebook post to your engagement ad. So, and again, if you go into the MLSP back office, looking under marketing strategies and trainings, you'll see the Facebook ads training. I encourage you to take some time and watch that if you are looking to duplicate what I'm doing with Facebook ads.
Yep. And you guys, if you guys are members of MLSP, this recording will be put in the back office, and probably by early next week, usually they're put back there. So you can rewatch this. Somebody wants to know, how do you start an email list? They'll show you how to do all of that in MLSP. You know, Aweber is what we usually recommend because it's easy. Are those emails available if you don't have Aweber? No.
You need some type of an email system. So you know, I mean, the key with the emails is that you want to be able to broadcast to all of your leads. Now, in MLSP, you certainly can use the contact manager to email them one by one, but that doesn't, you know, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, I have over 2,000 leads. I don't want to be, you know, emailing them one by one my content that I want to share. So absolutely having some kind of a platform, Aweber, and there's other platforms besides Aweber that you can use. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. You should always have control over your list, guys. Seriously, the golden rule in marketing is seriously build your list. And if you don't have control over it and you can't broadcast and you can't, you know, really kind of have the whole control, right? You can add different lists and different emails to your autoresponders and all that. Then it's really, really hard to build a really profitable business. So MLSP does have emails, but you can't edit them. They just automatically go out. So there is like an autoresponder included, but you're not able to manage that autoresponder. MLSP will send emails on your behalf, if that makes sense. So you definitely want to make sure that you get Aweber, or some people like to use Get Response, whatever is in the back office, and follow the training and set that stuff up, because there's training on how to do everything. So if you're part of MLSP, make sure you go through the Getting Started training, because all of that is there. That's the whole idea behind MLSP, is that you have a system and a training so you can just duplicate everything where, you know, the top earners are doing online. So it's pretty awesome. So a lot of great comments here. Wow. Really, really awesome. So let's see, Karen. What's the best way to use email follow-up when we haven't learned copywriting yet? I would say just copy what's being sent out by MLSP. That's what I did in the beginning. I just, you know what I did? You know how I learned copywriting, honestly? I seriously got on other top earners lists. I got on, you know, people like Diane Hockman's, Brian Finale's. I mean, I got on their lists and I literally just paid attention. I read all their emails. I think one of the greatest mistakes that marketers make is they think, oh, I'm already in that company, so I shouldn't be, I don't need to be on that person's list. And I think that's one of the greatest mistakes that marketers make a lot of the times, is they don't actually pay attention to what other marketers are really doing. I mean, I'm on a lot of marketers' lists, and I'm always reading and looking for my own ideas and ways to market, and, you know, just in general. And so that's one of the ways that I learned. So don't make that mistake of thinking, you know, I'm in MLSP, so I shouldn't be on, you know, their list because I'm already in. And sometimes people will email me that, and I'm like, okay, you're really smart, you know, emulate the leaders here. That's what you want to do. You want to emulate. So learn from them. This is the greatest learning experience ever, is just paying attention and really, you know, doing what they're doing. So if you don't know copywriting, I think that's one of my biggest tips for anybody. That's how I learned. I just started doing, and then there's also training in the back office, and Brian Finale has an amazing course on copywriting if you really wanted to take it to the next level. But I would say, just to get started, just start, you know, paying attention to what MLSP is sending out, start paying attention to what other leaders are sending out, and start, you know, writing. And the best way to get good at anything is by doing. So everybody's bad at first. And Karen, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, I think a lot of people, when they first get started, they're like, oh gosh, I'm fearful of, okay, I started to generate this list, and if I send them an email and I sound kind of like a goofball, well, you know, then they're not going to want to warm up to me. And the worst thing you can do is to set yourself up for failure by thinking that you're not going to be able to write a simple email. So when you're writing emails, it's really a matter of being warm and personal, and having your own personality come through. And it like April said, I can't tell you how many leaders' emails that I keep track of. And in my emails, I actually have like a file for April Marie Tucker emails. I'm on her list. I don't know if you knew that, April. I have my Antonio emails. I've got my Diane emails. I've got all these folks. And so I read like what they're doing and how they're doing it. And actually Diane Hockman has a really good training on, and she's done it actually in
Mr. List is great.
Yeah, Twisting Your List is a great training, but she's also done some free trainings on how to email your list. Yep. But don't look at it as I can't do it because I don't have copywriting experience. You can write emails, period. If you can write an email to, at work, and you can write emails to friends, you just kind of follow what other people are doing. And until you learn, you can actually copy. Here's a great one. You can actually copy some of the emails directly from My Lead System Pro. So here's an example in your system campaigns.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah, here we go. So here's Twitter training, how to generate 15 leads daily. Okay, so I just clicked on that notepad, and look at this. This is called swipe copy. Now, Brian, the copywriting genius of all time, has written all of these, and with his counterpart leaders. And look at this. If you just want to send out an email to your list, just copy and paste from the swipe copy. And this is what I did when I emailed regarding the Twitter training. I ended up getting 48 people to open the email, and all I did was take this content already written by Brian. And that is like a super easy way to start emailing your list. So look in your system campaigns, and all these notepads, most of them have some type of, some of them don't, but most of them have some type of, email swipe that you can use.
Yep, and with your links already there and everything, you just copy and paste it.
Right.
So awesome, guys. That's it for the questions, but Karen rocked it. So if you haven't already, make sure you go let her know how much you appreciate her on Facebook. Tag her or put, in the community or whatever, because she rocked it. And that's a lot. I mean, you gave so much value today. I'm just blown away. And Karen's even though she's an up and comer, she's really not. I mean, she's made money in the industry. She really has made a lot of money in the industry. So definitely, I'm so grateful to be partnered with you and have you on here today, because you're awesome, Karen. Thank you. And you rocked it.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor and a privilege, and I love the MLSP community and family. And if you guys haven't yet registered, make sure that you put the Live the Dream 8 on your calendar for the second weekend in August. That is life-changing.
Yep, exactly. And for those of you that are guests, of course, you can get back to the person that maybe invited you, but you can also take a test drive of MLSP if you would like. I'll just grab a generic link here for you, and you can take the test drive for $10. $10 to change your life. Wow, imagine that, right? $10. 10 big ones. All right, so bizbuildermastery.net. You can check out that link right here and take the test drive. If you're a guest, I highly recommend it. I've been a part of this community it will be 7 years in June. So it goes to show you that, the reason why I'm here, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of value here in the community with the leaders and the system and everything like that. But that just proves to you 7 years is a long time to be with, a system, a lead generation system. And I've been here the whole time, and that's because I love it here, and also because there's so much value, and I seriously couldn't see my business without it. How would I have made it to where I'm at today without the tools, the training, and everything I've pretty much learned has been right here, learning from leaders like Karen, learning from leaders like Brian and Diane and Mark Harbert and all the leaders that have come through the doors. I've been so blessed, really, to have people, leaders like that in my life and mentors. So you owe it to your business. Take the test drive, definitely, and make sure everybody gives Karen a nice shout out on Facebook and let her know how much you appreciate her. And guys, thank you, Karen. Thank you. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to say just before we get going?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the number one thing that you want to remember in your business is never, ever, ever give up. Quitting is not an option, because if I would have quit in this industry, and I felt like it, you know, gosh, every other week, I will tell you right now, I would not have been as successful as I have been in the industry. And all 4 of my kids, I was able to pay for their college. They're all college grads now, living their lives in their respective careers. Had it not been for my passion and drive, I knew I had to get out of corporate America. My kids would have been struggling to try to make ends meet and, you know, be hundred thousands of dollars in debt in student loans. But I never gave up. And the other thing is, don't allow the naysayers in your life to stop you from going after your dreams. And I have and had a ton of naysayers. People think, you know, like what we're doing, some people think it's not, is not going to work, and they try to just, discredit this industry. Don't let people get in your space and get in your head, because you can do it. And when you're a member of the MLSP community, you have so much support, and we really are here to help and support you.
Most definitely. And that's a great close right there, because that's a testament of what we do here. So awesome, Karen, MLSP community. I love you guys. Let's rock the week. Make sure you are registered for tomorrow night's training. The link is in your back office. And I know Brian's got some stuff to share with you guys tomorrow night. And we'll see you guys there at 9 p.m. Eastern. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thank you.